Okay, well, we got another meeting that's going to be picking up just about now. Real exciting stuff. We're talking about expireds and all the expireds that are, uh, that should be extremely trackable. It's obviously coming from the MLS. It's public information, so you're able to see it. Since expireds give an opportunity for those that are willing to work it. I'm not saying that you have to work it. I'm saying the ones that do win. And we're going to be talking about all of that in just a minute, but not before we let the mob in. Here they come right now. Okay, we got everyone just joining us now, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Love to get all of you here and love to find out what is going on with each of you as it relates to expireds. This is going to be a good time, and I definitely want to hear what you folks are doing as far as marketing the expireds. Talk about some of the statistics that are out there on the expired listings, you know? So just going to give everyone a minute or so to join in. I could see more and more people are coming. Greg, welcome. Paula. Paula's here. Hey, it's a party. Loving that. Deborah, good to see you, Deborah. Still love to catch up. Suzanne up north. Great. Sarah, not sure who that is, but glad you're here. Ken, great to have you. Eric Prego made it. Okay, fantastic. It's a party. Hassan, party. Wow. Okay, we got this all going on here. Anybody like the backgrounds I made? Eh, sort of. Okay. I thought since I've been so Florida, Aton inspired me to do a New England kind of background. Anyway,
It's like you're on vacation.
yeah, well, I'm not. I'm not. So let's get into this now. Let me just make sure we're all recorded here. Yes. Okay, so let's get into this. Who's working expireds? Okay, Paula, can I pick on you a little bit, Paula? I promise it won't hurt. You got to unmute yourself.
Got to unmute.
You got it. Okay, I hear
Okay,
you now.
good.
Okay,
Yes.
so first of
I'm
all,
in Florida, by the way. I'm so excited.
where are
Only
you?
for a
Where in
week.
Florida?
Naples.
Okay,
Naples. Yeah.
that's
I
the
know,
other
I'm too
side.
far. I'm
That's
on
the
the
other,
other
I was
side.
going to say, come on over for lunch, but
Yeah, I would.
and I'd love to see you. But okay, so when you're not on vacation, you're saying that occasionally you work expireds. What's been your success? What's been your failure? Let's talk about that and unpack it just a little bit here.
Generally, I do better with for sale by owners, FISBOs, I call them.
Okay.
Expires, I find a little challenging because I think they're a little more annoyed that,
And
oh, I've been listed for 6 months and I never saw you
good
kind of
point.
thing. And, there's always, I have some kind of answers for that, of course. I concentrate on my own listings. Um, I do better marketing than your agent did, things like that. But expires haven't been easy for me. Let's put it that way.
But
Not a
hold on.
lot of
And
success.
and since this meeting is being recorded, I want to get that. What was your number one objection? Where were you?
Where were you?
Where
I had
were
this house on the
you,
market for 6 months
Paula?
and I never saw you. Right.
Yes. Where were you, Paula Anaruma, with a person with so many consonants in their name?
Right,
Come
right.
on, what's with that? Okay, so that was one. How did you get the meeting in the first place? Was that the initial call, the cold call that you had that experience?
Again, I think the phones for me are a little more challenging. I do better if I'm going to go knock on the door. Um, if they, a lot of times they're not home. You got to look at the old listing. See if anybody lives there. If the house has no furniture at all, you're going to be, really, you can't get that face to face. You have to make the phone call. And sometimes the owner may be out of state. So this, really depends on each case. I'll do the background work rather than just cold calling and calling and calling like a dialer. I've never used a dialer. I want to know who owns the house so I can say, hey, you know, Mr. So and so. Right away, I know their names, so that's an association that's better than whatever. And if I look at the pictures, you want to never attack the agent because you don't know who they are to them. It could be a family member, right?
Good.
All right. So you want to say, listen, I looked at all your pictures and all your marketing. I just think I could do a much better job than what your agent did. And here's the reasons why, whether it be better. My son is a professional photographer that works with me. We virtually stage. We're going to do a 3D thing. I don't know if you guys know about the Zillow Premier Showcase business
Mhm.
now. It makes your listing pop more. So you got to do a separate video for that. We're doing the drone photography he's doing for me. So you want to pull out all the stops and show them, listen, this is what I do. If your agent hasn't done that for you, these are the mistakes, marketing mistakes. Not that it's a mistake on a person and attack a person. If you attack a person, you may, could bite you in the ass.
So I'm glad that you brought that up. First of all, has anyone heard of Article 16 of the Realtors Code of Ethics?
Yes, but I don't
Okay.
remember what it says.
Okay. Does any? Okay. So basically, don't fuck with another realtor,
Right, right.
especially during their thing. We are bringing a realtor up on a grievance right now. I need to speak with Nicole and my team about this. In Article 16, we've got that coming in a week and a half with the Realtors Association because the guy, well, I won't go into the whole story, but obviously I think it's worth it. Obviously, I think that when somebody breaks the rules, it's so obviously you've got to actually do
Flagrantly.
something. So that's one
Correct.
thing. I don't want anyone to take advice from this meeting and go and screw themselves up. Let me just throw a few questions out. I always make flashcards before my meetings. What's the primary reason expired listings have been considered a gold mine for agents for decades? Who wants to give me an answer? And we'll pause on you, Paula, just because you've been speaking. Who wants to? Okay, Hassan and then Greg.
I mean, they've already got their hand up. They want to sell.
Exactly. They've already got their hands up. They want to sell. Greg, was that your same answer?
It was.
Okay, so what's going on to this? According to Redfin, February 2026, what percentage of active U.S. listings have been sitting for 60 plus days?
Like over 50%.
Who said that?
Rick,
Rick. Okay, welcome, Rick. Actually, Rick,
thanks.
it's pretty good, 52.2%.
Yeah.
You see that?
Unfortunately, I'm experiencing that same metric in my business.
Okay, but we could use this to reverse engineer again. Everything we're doing here is to build little building blocks to success here. If you want to
Right.
work the expired market, we know, and I'll throw this next question is, what record dollar amount did stale inventory reach the market as of early 2026? So, you ready for this? 347 billion. There's a lot of stuff that's not selling. And here's the thing. Let me go to the next one. What percentage, and I don't have this here, but I'll give you an estimate because I was studying this last night. What percentage of listings, when they expire, relist with another agent within 72 hours? Anyone? 40%. 40%. So as Hassan and Greg said in the beginning, these people already have their hands up. We already know they're going. It's kind of like an estate sale. We know the guy's not alive anymore. The place is going to sell. Somebody's going to buy it. We know that there's going to be a transaction. Write that down and let's build a strategy around that. Let's really stop and think through what you're going to do to get in touch with them. Okay, let's also focus on Article 16 here a little bit more. Are you allowed to prepare paperwork and do all your studies on a property while it's currently listed? Don't be afraid of the answer here, guys. It's a safe space.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, you're allowed to do that. As soon as you release it, though, that's a solicitation. Okay? I still think it's really important that we get our paperwork studied and understood, particularly when it's in your market. What is the number one expired day out of the year? What is the number one? Oh, Paula's so excited about. Okay, Paula, you're too happy. Go, you got to unmute yourself and tell everyone.
December 31st.
December 31st is the last day of the year, and people, gosh, it's like, do you remember when my girls were little, there was a song by a woman named a young girl. She was 13, 14 years old, but named Rebecca Black. And the song was so
Mhm.
annoying. It went like this. It's Friday, Friday, gotta get down on Friday. Does anyone remember that song? Okay, it was,
Nope.
you're lucky. You don't have girls my age. It was the most annoying thing. But guess what? All the studies showed that that song played, guess when? On Fridays. Lo and behold, Friday, all the kids went and they just showed this incredible hockey stick chart of when that song played. This is human nature. It's the same thing with expired listings. People love to expire. And people love to be able to have a nice, neat, and realtors are doing this. Oh, let's just do it through the end of the year. Now, what is everyone doing on New Year's Day?
Nothing.
They're recovering. Now, I'm not going to say that you have to drop everything. If you're a New Year's person and you want to party, then so be it. Just understand what you are giving up, though. If you so choose not to work that day when all the other realtors aren't working on New Year's Day, nobody is. And you've got the number one amount of expireds that actually came out at that point, and literally no competition that's actually going. Does anyone see what I'm trying to get at here? It's something to certainly consider. Not something that you have to do. Just understand, say to yourself, look, my time is worth more, and that's fine. My time is worth more. I definitely want to sleep in and if I had a bagel and cream cheese at 4 o'clock in the morning on New Year's Day somewhere at a greasy spoon, which, oh yeah, smile hard, Greg. We know you've done that more than once. We know you've done that more than once. Okay? So you've got that. You need to make those priorities, but understand that that's the case. What is the median days that a property stays on market? Now we're getting down to the nitty-gritty of how you're going to actually work this. What are the median days that a listing is actually on the market? I'm actually trying to pull this out. Okay, before I get that actual answer, I had it written down here. I need to find this. Um, Okay, I'm going to get to the median days in a second. If anyone wants to look that up, go ahead. Let me go on with another question. Standard practice 16.4 allows an agent to contact the seller directly if their listing broker refuses to disclose what? Let me back up a second. This is the listing is listed with Greg. I'm a competitor of Greg. When am I
When
allowed
it
to call a
expires,
when am
when
I
it
allowed
expires.
what?
If he won't tell you when it expires.
If Greg won't tell me when it will expire, according to the NAR rules of ethics, and please, I'm never giving you legal advice. Please confirm this for yourself. This is being recorded here. Please check with lawyers if you want. I don't know if anything's different in Michigan. I don't know what, but it's the existence, type, and duration of the current listing. If I can call Greg and say, hey, Greg, when is that listing with Paul expiring? And Greg tells me to go shove it. According to the rules, I'm allowed to call Paula and not solicitor, but find out when the contract is over. Lavette, please unmute yourself and please tell us who you are and where you are.
Hi, I'm Lavette Bell. I'm in Southampton Roads, Virginia. And my question is, you said that as the NAR rules and ethics. So what if you're not a realtor? Do you have to follow those rules and ethics?
You know what, Lavette, I've been saying for a long time, you are kind of the duck-billed platypus of real estate. I just don't know how to describe you. I really don't, because no, you're not privy to the rules of the National Association of Realtors. And I say this to Nicole's on here, and I say it to Dina when she's on here as well. Sometimes the Realtors Association holds you back from that because I don't think there's any consequence if you're not a member. They can't throw you out. They can't spank you.
Mhm.
I don't know. Greg, you want to unmute and share your idea on this one?
So I actually sit on the state of South Carolina's professional standards committee. So we hear ethics violations. And Lavette, no, you are not bound by the code of ethics of the Realtor Association if you're not a member. I would double check state law to make sure there's not a law. South Carolina does have a law regarding agency, so we can get in trouble either way, whether we're a member or not. Um, and on 16.4, standard of practice 16.4,
Okay.
Edmund, be sure you're calling the agent and the agent not revealing the expiration date is not enough. You have to
Okay,
call the
please.
broker in charge.
You got to call the broker and okay, so in my case, my broker is Ingrid Carlos. You would have to call Ingrid and
Exactly, because technically the relationship exists with the
with the
broker in
company.
charge. Yep.
Okay. See, that's why I always say seek out the right information. I didn't say that. You did. Good. Good. That's important. What are some of the reasons that these properties expire in the first place? Somebody who hasn't spoken could jump in as well. I promise I won't bite, at least not too hard. Anyone? Anyone? Ferris
Repeat the
Bueller?
question. Ed,
The,
what
the
was the
question is
question?
why are people why are listings expiring in the first place? What exactly is the other realtor doing wrong?
They're overpriced.
Okay, that's one.
They're not communicating.
They're not could be. Mark Lawrence, is this a question or
They're not marketed well enough.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's the whole thing, which goes back to the dilemma. If you're not supposed to throw a cow at another realtor, if you're not supposed to talk to the seller about why their guy sucks, and Paula's 100% right when she said it, it could be her son. It could be her best friend. It could be her disabled son. I mean, we can make it like a horrible situation here where you're really going after the wrong person. So you've got to be very careful about what of what you're doing. But I think in order to understand and have a pre-mortem, we call it, we oftentimes say post-mortem in business to figure out why it died. Have a pre-mortem about why it will die. This is worth your time, guys. I mean, if you're going after that, as I always say, I've gone after expireds. I've done pretty well with expireds. Right now, my concentration is in farming, and I do mine the expireds and the canceled. Actually, Nicole and I have a couple of CMAs going out today to some people that have I found out they are expiring today. So once that's expired, we'll get that out. It's great to get the early intelligence. Um, you know, what else? We're going to try and get this. Hold on, let me just get a couple of these other things. So aside from Paula, who's had some success, Greg, have you had any success with expires?
I have, and I actually probably should add it to my work plan
Okay, like
because I haven't done it in a while, but I used to have good success with it.
okay. So what stopped you?
Um, Greater success with other techniques
Yeah.
or laziness.
Okay, that's honest. That's honest. I think it's really, really important. Um, okay, I'm going into some of these other things. Okay, yeah. So what percentage of sellers whose listing expire will eventually relist within 6 months? Again, I just want to make more evidence here if we need any more about the value of this. What percentage of the sellers whose listings expire will relist within 6 months? And just throw a number out there. You don't have to look at ChatGPT. I think Hedeka's looking at ChatGPT here.
Didn't you say it before, 40%?
No, I said we'll
72
relist
hours.
within like that week or 72 hours, but we'll relist eventually 90%.
Wow.
90% will relist within 6 months. So this is an active market. This is a good market. This is stuff where things are really going on, and you need to decide a strategy and structure of how you're going to um, go after this. There are actually in the workbook, Eitan, you got the workbook out to everyone, right? I'm not looking at the chat right now.
It's in the chat,
It,
yes.
it's in the chat. Guys, take a look at
I'll
that.
post it again.
Yeah, post it again. Throw it out there. Let's keep everybody um, getting this here. Okay, you guys posted all this legal stuff. I just love that. I wasn't even looking here. Okay, so Eitan's putting up the chat again. In that, there's several different prompts that you're going to be able to use, um, whether it's in rehearsing the pitch to someone who's actually had it listed before, to be able to analyze the properties that are on the market. One of the things that I'd like you to tell me is the median days that a listing stays on the market before it expires. All these little data points matter. Rick, go ahead. You have your hand up.
Yeah, I don't know that answer, but I do have one thing that I've been doing is I look at how long they've been in the property, right? Um, and I like to just have a realistic conversation to explain to them about, home equity. In other words, if they COVID and before homes have, in Zillow doubled, right? 250 home is now 500. However, that was last year and now it's dropped back to say 450, right?
Hmm.
Something I had a conversation to say, listen, you're not losing money, okay, when we're going to go do these things. Instead of making 500 that Zillow said you had 6 months ago, the market changed. So then it gets into one thing, and it's motivation. What's your motivation? Why you move? Why are you doing this? So I like to take the emotional piece out of it, but I'm losing money on a deal or on my house. It's like, no, you're just not making as much. But that's up to you if you're ready to do this now or do it later.
Sure.
That's just how I kind of approach it.
Sure. So yeah, do you find that people see the price hit a certain peak and they obviously don't accept that it went down. They accept that it's going to continue to go up forever
Right.
to infinity.
Yes. I think so. I think that just again, they saw this COVID rise and they see Zillow, everybody looks at that, all that stuff, but but that's not what it is. That is not the reality, as we all know on this call. Currently it's not in some pockets. If it's a tremendous home in a great neighborhood, sure, they're holding their value, but overall things are, down, I don't know, 10-15%, depending on your market, of course. But so it just, and then it gets into their motivation. If you're
Sure.
ready to rock, let's do it. Otherwise, sit tight and we'll see you later.
So here's a prescription to help you along. Find out what when you know the person, and this is not just to Rick, this is to everyone in the call here. When you find out someone's true motivation, let's say there's a guy down the street here who's got his home listed. How much is my home worth, Ed? I could get it sold for 1.8. Okay, list with another guy for 2.1. Canceled the listing after 4 months. I'm going after him now when it was down to 1.895. Then he went down to 1.892. Do you see the problem here? Dropping by $3,000 when you're at that level is, my grandmother would have said a little mashugana, a little crazy. Okay, it just doesn't make much sense to actually do it that way. So, now we've got to actually go and find the motivation. It's interesting. That slight price drop is a tell, don't you think? It's a tell. Money is everything to this guy. So what do I have to do? I've got to make spreadsheets about what it costs. What it costs to live here. I always say I'm the poorest guy in the richest neighborhood, which makes me better off than most. I thank God for that. I really do. I see some of the wealthiest people in the world around here. I'm nowhere close to that, but I love selling their homes. Love being a part of that community. It's great stuff. If
Well,
you
Ed, one of
yes,
the things that I have done with that is I've gone back and looked at the numbers in the Atlanta market where I'm here, and then in my Pensacola office, same. And the average home, okay, in the last 50 years in the Atlanta market, on average, has gone up 3% a year. Okay, now some years it's higher, some years it's lower, but average. So what I'll do is I'll take that. Let's say it's $100,000 house, and I say average every year it's going up 3%. So that's 100,000 goes up to 103, 103 goes up to whatever, 106, 107. So I like to bring that up and say, listen, I understand we're lowering the price, but guess what? The value of this house continues to go up. So I try to use that as a little bit of logic to get the emotion out of it to say, you just need to think about the numbers here.
okay, so that's one half of the equation. Let me give you the second half. What do they lose? What did this guy lose by listing it way above what I told him it would be worth? By the way, and I'm no magic guy here. The data is the data, okay? Don't shoot the messenger, even though we know that that's unfortunately what happens to us.
They
What,
lost the
what
motivated buyers that were out there at the time.
Not only
Right.
that, but 6 months, you're right. All that stuff, the marketing was lost, all that was lost, but the money was lost. What is, okay, my finance guys, maybe Greg could chime in on this if you have a calculator handy. If you netted 1.6 million from the house, let's say after taxation, he gets 1.5 million. If it grows at 5% interest over annualized and it was invested over 6 months, how much is that? How much is that actual dollar amount that was actually lost there? Was it just on? Okay, Rick just muted himself here. I think he's getting the calculator out too. I think it's close to $40,000. Right, right there. Rick, Greg, anybody?
Yeah, that's close.
Close to
Correct.
$40,000. What about the property taxes that were spent on this? Oh, but Ed, he has to live somewhere. Okay, fine. Set the property taxes over here. But this is still an expensive community. We know that. We know that they've got some huge fees that are actually going into all of this. What else was actually lost in that time that was there? Work the negative sales sometimes, guys. Work the negative sale. It's something for you to consider because at the end of the day, if it really is garbage in, garbage out, all the numbers that are going on, we have a deal right now. It's a condominium. It's listed too high. Okay, I won't say where because I don't want to throw a cow at my client. But it's listed too high, and we got an offer that was probably among the highest offers in the place. It was unfortunately a little off from where the owner wants. They are fully prepared, and they know very well because I just gave them the spreadsheets and put all this information together. What this is costing them every month. It's staged with a very expensive staging company that's $2,500 a month that they're paying. $2,500 a month. They've got the HOA fees, which or the condo fees, which in Boca, not cheap at all. They've got the property taxes, they got the cost of capital. Just go on and on with all this. Throw this out to ChatGPT now, if you want, and give them a theoretical scenario, and then build a spreadsheet to help you make your argument about price. Price is really, really important. And people think that it's not going to be what you make, it's what you keep. And part of our job is to really show and be able to give a roadmap to the greatest level of success. By the way, this argument works also with why do I want to pay a buyer's broker? Anyone get any of that yet since the rules have changed? Less than I thought it would be. But I still get somebody saying the buyer's going to pay his own broker. Fuck him. I don't want this. We get that. Okay, great. Why do we want to pay the buyer's broker? Because of the same reason the Porsche building in Miami pays a 6% commission as opposed to a 3% commission. They want to build a marketplace. They want to bring people to the table as far as buyers go. We need to be able to make that and give a real roadmap to success for the sellers. Sometimes it's really hard to do this. Now we got Paula Acosta Watson there chasing the market! Exclamation point. Let me say that again. They are chasing the market. They need to be right where the market is pricing. Very good. I'm glad that you actually said that. And if you want to chime in, you could pop in as well at any point. Who else is on this? Who else has had experience with this? This topic's getting me jazzed. I love this here. Who else has had experience with expireds? Anyone?
So I call expireds.
Okay.
And I, like Paul, I've actually had better success with FSBOs. I actually took 2 FSBO listings last week.
Okay.
The thing I run into is like I'm calling on a day that they actually expire, and every agent is calling at the same time. So it's kind of getting through that main objection of everybody's calling me. Why weren't you guys calling me when the house was on the market? And I like the objection handler that Paula shared about I was focused on getting my listing sold.
Okay, tell us.
No, I'm just I think it's a gold mine. I totally agree with you. It's just a matter of like sitting down every single morning religiously and setting time to make calls, whatever, 8 to noon, 8 to 11, 8 to 10, whatever the schedule is, and just doing it consistently.
It is an intellectual discipline. And it is something that will wreak havoc on your ego because you get a lot of rejections. I always compare it to dating. I'm married now, but I got rejected. It was okay. It didn't hurt that badly. Actually, sometimes it really hurt, but you know what? I got through it, and now my wife tells me I'm very happy.
I remember it otherwise.
We've known each other a long time. Let me just
I've got a couple questions.
please throw it out to the mob here. Let's see.
Is anybody? We're talking all about making calls, going online, maybe doing Facebook posts and stuff. Is anybody going out and doing any door knocking on some targeted ones? Maybe not 500 of these things, but select whatever the expireds that you're interested in and going out and doing a door knock. I'm curious. And a follow up to that is what I've started to do with my agents. Okay, is say a lot of people don't like to door knock. A lot of people too that you go to their door, but there's a lot of Ring doorbells out there now. So I suggest, why don't you go up to the Ring doorbell. You don't even have to ring the doorbell. Just say, hello, this is Rick. I'm with, Home Smart Realty Partners. I just want to let you know I'm local, real estate agent. Do your little pitch. maybe have a little leave behind, little hang bag you can leave on the doorknob. But it's like door knocking without having a door knock and the guy point a gun at you to say get
Hope
off your
not.
property. Anyway, just a thought, especially on like expireds or whatever prospecting you're due in neighborhoods. It's something that I'm having some of my agents try out now too, and so far we've actually had some success at actually getting listings doing it.
Sure. Rick, do you know Alexis Bolin in Pensacola?
Yeah, I don't know. I know of her, but I don't. Yeah, I do know
That's
of her.
Lisa Murray just posted that question here, so I just figured that's her good friend
Oh, okay.
apparently. So
Yeah.
so yeah, good to know how we're all connected here. What is, as far as the overpriced listings go, here's again another little prescription to help you along. Find the things that are overpriced. Take a look at when things were listed. We go in four different breaks: 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year. Nobody lists for a year anymore. I mean, it's very, very rare that you get a full thing, at least in my experience. But look at 3 and 6 months in particular. If you see that something's been listed for 5 months, you know that you have a higher probability. Is it a guarantee? No, it's not. I don't want you to look at it that way. But you've got a higher probability of that becoming a vacant listing.
Expired.
And if at that point you work to find out, when is that going to expire? How is that going to expire? Do realtors lie? Of course they lie. Oh yeah, I've got them for another 12 years. They're going to do that, but try and make that part of the routine. See, I don't think that you should necessarily just cold call every single thing that's expired today. I think that if you get a little bit of intelligence in there, and Aton, at some point we could probably talk about building an expired engine. We're doing a lot of research right now. Aton, before the end of the meeting, can I share the thing that you're building for St. Andrews, or do we want to save that for another time?
No, I think that's perfect for
Okay.
sure.
Okay, so I'll show you the stuff that we're building out in our own marketing, so that you could take a look and have a greater understanding of what's going on with that. But I think it's really important that we take all these different things. Rick said it, Paula said it, Greg said it. It's a discipline. You've got to have some amount of time that you're going to be prepared to do this. Making just a couple calls is not going to work. Ed, I hate making cold calls. Great, this might not be for you. It might not be for you, and that's okay. I mean, some people say, I mean, Rick's knocking on doors. I'm terrified of somebody shooting me. It's okay. I'm not going to knock on a door. I'm going to meet them somewhere else. But you need to decide what your vehicle is. Okay? You need to decide what their vehicle is. Now, Lisa, can you unmute yourself? Because you got all kinds of little golden nuggets of wisdom here. What percentage of expires didn't sell
I'm
because they're
just
ugly?
curious.
It's a good. I didn't come up with that statistic. Anybody want to chime in?
Because a lot of them are.
A lot of them are horrible.
Yeah, a
Yeah,
lot of
and I think that it's important that we take a look at all of this. We're not, there's a reason things expire unsold, and sometimes it goes through more than two agents, right? But the probability does go up when you are getting this, and I think that that's really truly important. Okay, we're going to get to this app that we're putting together in just a second. I want anyone else has experiences with expireds that they want to share.
One of the things that I do is create a series of letters. And
Okay.
again, if you get to the door and you can see somebody face to face and then follow up with letters and phone calls, it's never going to be like maybe one touch if you're lucky, yes. But it could be, 3, 4, 6 letters down the line. If they keep seeing your name, they're going to say, well, this person is really serious about listing my home or their business or whatever. So we do have like a follow-up system, and it's discipline and keeping track of each property that you're sending a letter to. So that can be a little confusing.
Okay. Listen, sometimes first to market, it's already been proven very, very important to be the first realtor that meets them. If it's at all part, but again, National Association of Realtors, 70% of the people that list with the first realtor they actually met
Many.
with.
Yeah.
How many realtors does the typical consumer know? Notwithstanding the joke about how everyone's a realtor, I get it. But what, on a national basis, what is where somebody can instantly recall a realtor that they know is reputable? What's the number? Anyone want to have a guess on that? Two, possibly three. Okay. Uh, Rick, are you open? Okay, Rick, name a cola, meaning the beverage. Name a brand. Just give one word.
Coke.
Good. Paula, unmute yourself, please. Give me
Pepsi.
another Pepsi. Very good. Greg, unmute yourself. Give me another brand. There's a reason I'm doing this.
I know, and I'm going to go down the road you don't want me to go down. How about RC?
Very good. Okay. Who else is next? Lisa Murray, give me another cola. Can't hear you.
Tap.
No, Lisa can't hear you. Okay.
Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper's not a cola, Deborah, but that's a good. Thank you for playing. Okay, that's good. But here's the thing: if there's Coke, and thank you, Deborah. You had the courage to be at that point. Coke, Pepsi, distant third, RC. If anyone knows the distant fourth, it's Shasta. But nobody cares about Shasta. They care about Coke and Pepsi. And Dr. Pepper, again, it's a brand in of itself because it's not a cola. What's the point of all this? The human capacity for remembering a brand is so minimal. That's why if you have a luxury, you can name a luxury car, Porsche, Mercedes, Rolls-Royce. You can name those very, very easily, but you're not naming hundreds of them. You're not naming so many of them. That's why I'm a farmer. That's why I want to be famous to a tiny group of people. And I want you to be that way as well. And I want you to recognize that the numbers do play in your favor if you take the time to actually do that. Okay, who else on this before we go on to this quick view of the app? Karen gave me the thumbs up. Thank you, Karen. Okay, well, if you have questions, we can continue. But this was built by Aton. It's fantastic. We're now building this out for several different people. Aton, you want to break in on this and guide me along a little bit? Maybe?
Is
No?
that your house, Ed, that's for
No, it's
sale?
not. Aton, you're muted. So I don't know if can you speak or no?
Yes, here.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Now I can. Thank you. Okay. No, it's not my house, but we're looking at the different houses here. So this is
So
something that
why don't you go to community?
community, sure.
There you
So
go.
that's my community, and he's got various these are all represented houses. You can see this okay? I hope. Okay, nobody's answering me. Estimated value, we've got a little heat map here. So we can see the orange ones are much more valuable. And we could actually take a look. We could see the full valuation on here.
So this is basically a CMA machine that allows you to price an entire building or entire community. And it takes the county records, the MLS records, it builds the comparables, and then it allows you to set a lot of parameters like, market appreciation. Show them the levers.
Sure.
The
Would I
mar
like to go to comfort view, Eitan?
Sure.
Okay, so we got comfort view. Can you see that okay? So here, the
So
Florida Turnpike is a big factor, we determined, and if something's closer to the Florida Turnpike, it's going to diminish the value exponentially on the place. Also, Eitan, want to explain the market appreciation?
So it's basically brings the comps current. So if a sale was done 6 months ago, it will take the market appreciation and add that component, that
Sure,
time component into the price.
sure. There's also an aged lever. There's renovation premium that he's put in here, and then scarcity. Eitan, tell everyone about scarcity. This is my favorite.
So if there are, the community have about 700 homes, there's only 5 listings, so it's very scarce.
Yeah. So we
So
put,
I would max the scarcity meter up
yeah.
because there's not that many choices. What we found is that if somebody wants to live in a specific building or a specific community, um, they're pretty much just looking there,
Sure.
and they would pay the price to, whatever is associated with that property or that area.
So, but let's now get to the good stuff here, which I think is the coolest part. And this is what we're going to be meeting with Nicole about. We've got, where's the switch here? Oh, CRM. Nope, that was already made CRM. Sorry. Eitan, just guide me a second because,
So you want to go to CMA. So if
yeah.
you want to go to the CMA, right?
Yep.
So scroll up
Okay.
and you have a buyer
Okay.
CMA and
Buyer
a seller
CMA. So,
CMA.
so I click on the seller CMA, and
So
right
this
now,
basically generates the CMA automatically for the entire community or the entire building
and we've got this for
instantaneously.
Samantha Curry now because we're working on another client as well. But obviously, adjustments need to be made throughout all of this, and a web page could be built for the client along with images and the recent sales. But we make all of this. Again, Eitan's been masterful at building this stuff
So this is
uh,
the
out.
presentation that the client would probably get, and then the client can uh, print a PDF, show them the PDF print
Oh, he's
on the
got a
bottom, the
light
hover on the
dark
bottom,
toggle, so we could go dark if you want.
the hover on the bottom.
Yep.
Hey, Ed, is this a product that you're offering like
Sell,
to
yes.
sell to?
We're
Yeah.
making it as a custom product. But my hope is that whether you decide to take the product or not, you actually use this as an idea and try and build stuff. If you're not going to do it, then this is available to people if they're able to utilize AI. It's not going to be as good looking as what Aton made, but there's stuff that you could do regardless of whether you want to do this. It's taking a long time to render
I'm
here.
not sure why it's not rendering. Well, there's an issue. But
Yeah,
again, I didn't know you're gonna show
I
this
put you on
next.
the spot, which I
Yeah,
oftentimes do. Um,
but the idea is, we're saying, okay, how can we build CMA? And then we said, oh, if now it takes you a couple of hours, you could do it in 10 minutes. And then the idea was, well, why would you even wait 10 minutes? Let's pre-render it or let's just generate them for your whole farming area, and then all you have to do is just press the button.
Sure. And this all
Where
started by us working with a billion-dollar producer who's now paying us to own an entire building. And that building has floor plans for every unit. It's got the full history of what's going on. I mean, we put a lot of manual labor. Aton put a lot of manual labor into finding all of that out. I say this to you again. Obviously, it's a gratuitous pitch for my own services. I never lie about that. But two, regardless of whether you use the services or not, you could start using AI in a similar manner. You could start using this stuff to be able to build that type of data. It's impressive stuff. And if we take data as seriously as we should, we could go a lot farther. Okay, I'm talking too much. Um, Greg, go ahead.
where is it pulling the data from, Eitan?
So it's looking into the county records. It's pulling from the MLS. Um, in this case, we export it. It's not a live,
Okay.
Yeah.
but
If otherwise, we'd have to get the IDX in there, which is the next move.
and our IDX is not, our MLS is not, they don't allow the API. I actually looked into it after we spoke last week, and my broker needs to contract it for like $3,000 a month to make
Oh,
it available for all our agents.
Yeah.
So
mm.
you're really lucky to be able to do that just like this.
Yeah. And I'll tell anybody that uses Flex MLS, Flex has got it. Whether or not your local association allows, has activated it is the question. So if you reach out to your whoever the whatever they call the guy over the association, the executive that heads it up, and ask them about it. I'm sure you can get it in your area.
Did you have to request it at least, or you didn't
No,
even
they did it
request it?
proactively. So we got a communication that said, "Hey, it's here. Here's how to hook it up." Um,
That guy,
and lo
you're
and
talking
behold, it
about
worked.
connecting Claude to your MLS.
Claude and Chat GPT both are have the capability.
To have the
Do you,
MCP, that's basically to have access to the API.
Yes. So
Greg, do you use, did you say on the last call you use Flex MLS?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, because they offer, so I don't use Flex, use RealComp. They do offer Flex up here. And I checked after our call on Friday, I reached out to our MLS, the RealComp, and they told me no.
Yeah.
So I couldn't do
Well,
it.
I did the same thing. They said, okay, you need to submit a written request. I submitted the written request and I was rejected.
rejected for,
Basically, it need to come from my broker and they needed to pay service.
hmm, okay. Okay. Well, all of these things are, there's workarounds with all of this stuff. I think if you're doing it manually, you could make just a major data dump and put it in manually. The downside is it has to be updated for that, but the plus side is, you have that data anyway. And if you guys are interested in building a CMA machine, definitely let us know. I want to let you know two other things to think about. Building a CMA, oh, there go the balloons. Building a building a coming soon machine. That's on August 19th. That's next Wednesday at 9 a.m. And the Notebook MLM for realtors, talking about how fast AI is moving. It's now called Gemini Notebook. It's owned by Google. They literally just changed the name before we started planning this meeting. It's okay, it's the same thing. Notebook LM, if you have a kid that's in school, they must use it. I'm telling my daughter, who's starting her junior year, you must start to use it. If you're a realtor wanting to say prepare for a meeting like this, you must use it. You're able to put all sorts of information into it. In this case, my workbook, my notes, my arguments with Aton, all the stuff that actually goes into this. And I'm able to build a podcast about my meeting, a podcast just for me to listen to, a 30-minute podcast that talks about all the stuff that I need to talk about in the meeting. You know how amazing that is from a speaker's standpoint to be able to learn, build flashcards, build a video, build a study guide. All that stuff comes, and depending upon
Oh,
how you like to learn, I'm a big experiential learner. I think a lot
okay,
of you
okay.
are
Do,
as
do
well.
you, sorry to interrupt you,
Go ahead.
but you build a podcast about the subject
Yes,
and you have two people conversing on a podcast like a radio station
yes.
and you listen to it and
And I
that's how
listen
you
to it.
learn.
And I listen to it. And that's one of the ways that I learn. In any case, a week from Friday, we will have that at 12 noon. So if anybody, we like to give our Californians a break and Lisa a break. So if you want to come to that, that's great. If you want to come at 9 a.m. on Wednesday, I sincerely hope you do. If you've got other ideas for topics, I'm all ears. We definitely want to hear from you as to what we need. We put a lot of time into both researching and developing this stuff to make it a much more cogent understanding, is something that would really, really work to help you make money. Again, a lot of you have recommended things like realtor safety. I think it's a great topic. It's just not what we do. What we put on are topics that you could use, you could immediately take out to your career and use it to make money. That's my goal for all of you. And if you have something that I'm not hearing and not seeing, please, please, please let me know. Okay, wants, needs, and brags, 9:48. Now's the time in the meeting to get to what you want, what you need, and what you want to brag about. I've given lots of brags. My cup is full. I'd love to hear from all of you what you've got to brag about. It could be about anything. Charity you're giving to, graduation, births, uh, big wins, new listings. Rick just got a bunch of people by knocking on doors. Anyone? Anyone? Everyone's shy. Want to brag about yourself? Talk about how fabulous it is in New Hampshire? No? Okay. I won't beg, but it's good to see all of you. Eitan, any other point before we conclude here?
And if anybody wants CMA,
Mm.
not CMA, CRM. We also do that.
Yep.
We've
So we,
we've created a CRM system that is very performing very well, and now I would like to adapt it for realtors.
sure.
And it basically does prospecting, and it's at night. It will look up people in your farm area, find the phone numbers and the properties they live in, and their social media accounts, and all this good stuff, and we could follow them and try to get in there.
Sure. So we're building a lot of tools right now for it's software specifically for realtors who want to use AI to make money. That's if I had to encapsulate everything that we're doing, it really is trying to build that type of software. Lavette, please.
I was going to ask if the CRM that you're building has text blast.
As what?
Tech Splash.
Text.
She's asking about Twilio, basically.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
We're just adapting it now though.
so
Okay.
let me ask
Thank
you
you.
this. Obviously, there's a ton of, real estate CRMs out there, Follow Up Boss, all, did a ton of them. So tell me why, how do you differentiate yourselves from a, out of the box, standard kind of regular old CRM?
It's customized.
It's customized. It does things specifically for you.
Okay.
It's trying to take a
And
critical look at we incorporate a lot of what's going on in your neighborhood, like what I just showed you with St. Andrew's Country Club. That's got a CRM associated specifically with it. So, when you have that and it's actually working on the actual the actual value of the homes within the community, now you've got something that goes beyond just the CRM. We're capturing everyone's information and we're having scheduled meetings that we're able to put out there. And yes, Lavette, we've got texting components for this as well. But I think one of the biggest things, at least to me, is that unique component that we add into it. We're building this custom for various brokers. I mean, and Rick, you're 100% right. There are so many. I sounded like Claude then. You're absolutely right. Um, there are so many different tools that are out there. We just decided to go the route of finding a group of agents that want to have something completely custom just for their use. And then this
and
is
I'll
probably
tell you what's the difference. How much do you pay for follow-up boss per agent
Oh, I don't know, 69 bucks or something. I don't know. I'd
every
have to look.
month?
69 a month. Yeah.
Well, I can take that whole subscription model out and sell to you just the app, and then you can use it for as many agents as you want and never pay a subscription again.
Yeah, no, no, I want you guys to follow up with me because I'm definitely interested in, and then can you also kind of like, white label it so, it kind of
Yeah,
provides it.
sure.
absolutely. And any idea you might have, and it does accounting, and it connects to your bank account, and it pulls all the financial information, and it has pipelines, and it follows your deals, and it calculates the commissions, and
Or it could be less than that. I mean, it could be all this or less. The
Yeah.
Eitan gets a bit obsessed. That, for
Yeah,
us, it works
right.
pretty
They start
well.
sucking my money out too. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
And I know this is all customizable and built to specific needs. Is there a base pricing on it that you're able to
No,
share? Okay.
not at this point. But okay. Thank you, Eitan. Eitan, very chatty today. Good group of people. I'm going to where the meeting is now ending. I'm grateful that everyone came. I hope to see everyone next week. Anybody who wants to stick around and see today's video before it goes out, I've been doing a lot of AI video. Eitan, we need to get that on the schedule too, I think. But would anybody like to have a preview of today's video that's not out yet?
was that the yoga one? I didn't see
Yeah,
it, but somebody told me about it.
you didn't see it. Okay, well
The yoga one.
the yoga one is actually out there. Let's just take a look at let's take a look at a couple of these things. Actually, at first I gotta get the audio back out here. Okay, the audio is shared. Going up here.
Edmund, you've got the two attractive models up front in that video and you're in the background.
Always. Okay, so here's a couple things. First, we'll show the bomb going off. I don't know if you guys saw this. Can you hear it, Eitan?
Yes.
My God, how are you not nervous?
You think this is bad? Try dealing with a buyer who won't sign a buyer's broker agreement. Now that's scary. The Edmund Bogen team stays cool under pressure. Call us when you're ready to buy or sell a home.
Okay, so that was one. Here's the yoga one.
My God, that man is terrible at yoga. Yeah, but he sure knows real estate. He found me the perfect home.
Edmund Bogen, Douglas Elliman. Edmund Bogen, Douglas Elliman. Stick with me for real estate, not yoga.
Okay. And we have, this is this morning's.
You'll never be a real realtor. Never!
Edmund Bogen, Douglas Elliman. Never give up on your dreams.
Okay, and then that's just out this morning. Now this one's coming out this afternoon. I don't know if it was edited here. Let's take a look. This may or may not be edited.
Wise one, tell us our future.
Your future is in Florida. Find Edmund Bogen.
Okay, so that's the videos that are out there. If you guys are interested, thank you. If you're interested in learning,
nice.
What?
Very nice, very unique.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, no, look. So just the rundown. I give the idea. To AI. The AI runs with it. I tweak going back and forth with ChatGPT. I storyboard it using Google Nano Banana. I take the story and then I go to something called Higgs Field, which has another component called Seed Dance 2.5. Again, don't get freaked out by all this. And I give them my image, my sound, my just about everything that you could think of. And it then is able to put this together. And there's a lot of mistakes that happen too. I mean, there's stuff. I've been into zombies lately. So now I've got this whole thing, realtors versus zombies. I think you guys probably saw that on my Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, please follow me on Instagram because that's where a lot of this is going on. I also have created one specifically for St. Andrew's Country Club where I live. So I've got something very specific where I created a character. She doesn't exist in the real world. Her name is Dawn Foster. She's about 44 to 46 years old, very attractive, very professional, very well spoken. And she is my AI representative. And people are stopping me constantly. And I could see on the stories just how many people are actually watching it, how many people are commenting, and more importantly, how many people are stopping me in the club. What does this mean from a dollars and cents standpoint? Oh, Ed, this is great. I love your marketing. By the way, can I talk with you about selling our home? We are getting a $4.5 million listing from this. And he's buying a $2.5 to $3 million home as a direct result of us staying in touch with all of them. AI is in every single sale that I make. I'll say it again, every one. Okay? It's an assistant. Sometimes I can't quantify it, but I know that it's there. So those are my thoughts for the day. If you guys like this or have story ideas or topics, please, please, please let me know. Eitan, we need to catch up and be able to develop more of these topics. But you guys always put wind in my sail. I'm grateful to all of you. And I look forward to seeing everybody in our next meeting. Thank you so much for coming today, guys.